why don't you direct a film? I said, yeah, I'm going to direct a film. See, whenever you direct a film, I'll come and work with you.
Boman Irani is a very special man. We have to really acknowledge this. People who don't know should know this. We have spoken several times. In fact, when we were in Berlin, I and Puja actually sat down and discussed him.
We forget the contribution of the DOP, the production designer, Gulraj's music, the background score. Without that, there's no movie.
Hi everyone, welcome to Cinema Express. My name is Shreyas. First of all, congratulations for the film.
Thank you.
I've seen it, I just saw it last night and I still am in the hangover of it. And what I really liked about it is so tender, so sensitive, but at the same time it never feels heavy to watch. There's always something undergoing in its layers which has some humor, which has some tragedy, which has some seriousness. And it is like a proper mismatch of all of these things. And I wanted to begin by asking you, I read somewhere that Sujay Ghosh suggested the one-liner to you. So could you tell us more about that and how did it take shape from there?
Well, I like the idea of someone spending 48 hours and then leaving. So the scene was, it's a classic airport sequence.
Yeah.
Though in the final draft, the airport sequence I had not shared with anybody.
Oh, okay.
I had not shared with them. I told nobody. Not the producers, not the actors, not the technicians. I only placed 2 cameras and I asked for 2 cameras on that day. Place one here, and I dare anyone to call cut.
Okay.
Okay?
The one where she's leaving.
No.
Last one.
The last one. Okay.
Where she's leaving, we had to shoot that in, you must have overheard the earlier.
Yeah.
But the idea that Shujoy said it's about a father and a son, and Shujoy shared his experiences with his father, as all of us, and everybody, and every single press member of the press has shared their experience of their father or their mother, or I'm a sister and I'm caught between my two parents, maybe. It's so relatable. But at the same time, it just could not be a slice of life. There had to be something that's deeper,
Yeah.
delves into someone's soul, someone's weaknesses, someone's wounds, flaws, expose them. And there's one line that really, really excites me, especially when writing the film, is that you must tell the story that you're most afraid to tell and you're most embarrassed to watch. And there was a scene, which you may have seen, the scene in the car, which he performs with such aplomb and fire.
Yeah.
And when we used to read that scene in table readings, in front of people who we used to getting a sense of it, everybody came and said, that scene makes me very uncomfortable. I said, good. It should.
Yeah.
There are many scenes in the film that should make you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because human nature, we are living with certain anger. We are living with certain weaknesses. Our thoughts may not be the best thoughts in the world. And when he sticks his fingers up, we'll see in the trailer, and does this.
Yeah.
We've all thought of doing that at some point in our life.
Yeah.
And if it makes you uncomfortable, I have succeeded then.
Yeah, it's a very surprising scene. It suddenly turns into road rage almost, where the father is just wanting to beat up his own son. And did you always...
Don't say it like that.
It's a road rage, the father was, it's all simmering anger over the years, and it's frustration.
Yeah, right.
You know something? There were times in that scene when we were performing, I was just saying, I'm going to either I'm doing this, or I'm saying, what if that scene ended with him just holding on to it? But that's the wrong point.
Yeah.
So you feel that it can't be just somebody getting angry. It has to be a man who is in love with his son and them not getting the love back, and hence he's angry.
Yeah.
It's not road rage.
Yeah, definitely not. But we've seen you acting for the past many years. So at what time did you decide to, want to make a film?
When I was this high.
Okay, even before you started acting.
Oh yeah.
But when did that shift take place?
So I have to say this to you before you, and I want them to speak because they're speaking so well today. I'm so.
We've surprised you.
No, it came out like that. But yeah, I'm surprised. So I was doing a film called Well Done Abba.
Yeah.
And Aparna was in production. And I was sharing my ideas with the late Mr. Shyam Benegal. And then over breakfast, we would sit and say, yeah, maybe we should rewrite this scene and da 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 da. And she comes to me and says, why don't you direct a film? I said, yeah, I'm going to direct a film. She said, whenever you direct a film, I'll come and work with you.
Wow.
I said, okay. Turns out Aparna becomes this big shot at Amazon. Comes and gives me a call and said, remember that story you told me when we were shooting Well Done Abba?
Wow.
You'd like to do it with us? I said, it was meant to be with you.
Wow. How lovely. Coming to three of you, Boman sir has definitely worked on the film as a writer, director, producer, actor. So I wanted to ask you, when you were working with him, what were your impression of him as an actor, writer, director, producer, separately? What did you think of him in these separate roles?
Take your time.
We have to talk about all?
Yeah, if you can.
I think more before that, just the amazing guy he is. Before writing, directing, वो सब तो ठीक है, वो तो है ही amazing.
Yeah.
But I think I was made to feel so comfortable, so welcome in this project, in this Irani movie tone dunya. Like you really felt like family.
Yeah.
So that I think was the most incredible thing. Of course, then as like I remember on set one day we were shooting a scene and Boman, before the clap happened, Boman was making faces, he's like, he's fooling around and all that, and then this happened and boom, he's landed. And I was like, oh my God, like, what did I just see? And I asked him afterwards, I was like, how you were goofing around? What happened? Like, how did you just land? And he said something so incredible, which like now it stays with me as a performer. Like I need to hold on to that and practice it. He said that for you it was goofing around. That's how I relax, And to see like my co-actors being so effortless, like Makhan, performing. I think those are the things I've picked up. Even as a writer, when you're workshopping, just understand like this constant thing of like, what is the conflict in the scene? Like what is going on? Why do we need this, etc. Like as a writer, actor, everything, it's like it really felt like a crash course. Like Shreya was saying pehle, it was like a film school ka ऐसा crash course मिल गया हर डिपार्ट लाइक सुबह 10 बजे एक्टिंग क्लास में जा रहे हो 11 बजे राइटिंग 12 बजे how to be a good human being. Yeah.
Shreya?
No, she said it so well. For me, I actually manifested working with Boman sir. I had heard about his screenwriting course, Spiral Bound, and I really wanted to be a part of it. At that point, I could not for some reason. So I said, okay, I'll do it in the future. And then within 2 weeks, I got a call for the audition of the film. And I remember the call, they told me that in this film, Boman sir is acting and, like you said, writing and directing. So my jaw dropped. And I was like, I don't know how, but I have to be a part of this film. And luckily, I, got that opportunity. And like we've all been saying, I feel very excited, not just as an actor of his, but as an audience member, that we get to see stories through his eyes. Because of course, he's a stalwart of our industry already as an actor. But I truly feel the way he tells stories, it's a very unique voice. And I really hope people watch the film because of what, he's written, what he's trying to say. Because that's how I felt when I read the script or even when I watched the film. And there's been a lot of learnings, obviously. Like, we keep talking about that and that goes without saying. But I feel very grateful for the time I get to spend with him because of the way his mind works. And like we've all been saying, I remember, he's achieved practically everything that one wants to achieve in their work. But there was this one particular day, I don't remember what scene it was, sir, but he came to set and I found out through somebody else that he had not slept all night because he was thinking about how he could better the scene.
Hospital scene.
And that just blew my mind. I was like, oh, but, and it was all set, but like it wasn't like something he came and said, "Oh, I've not slept" or whatever. It wasn't him.
Yeah.
I just heard that because that's how passionate he is about what he's doing. And that was very inspiring, I think, for me to just imbibe and be around.
Yeah, how lovely. Avinash?
I think one thing we need to sit down and acknowledge is that Boman Irani is a very special man. We have to really acknowledge this.
Yeah.
People who don't know should know this. We have spoken several times. In fact, when we were in Berlin, I and Puja actually sat down and discussed him. And you know, the first time I heard of Boman sir was aspiring actor. You want to find out ways how do you get an opportunity, and you had heard of a film called Let's Talk, and अच्छा कोई एक फिल्म ये भी कर सकते हैं कि मेन फिल्म में इंडिपेंडेंट फिल्म में कुछ ऐसा I can think of those things. You had heard of a man, suddenly you see Munna Bhai, MBBS, okay, and the different parts that he has played through that time. Since then, you realize that there is a versatility. I have personal great respect for people who, as actors, have versatility to them, because that is what acting to me was, or is what I understand. So there was clearly a great role model for all of us who was looking forward to come to the industry and make a mark for ourselves. That is the starting point. Having the experience that I have with him, I think he's just one very intelligent, okay, and it's not acknowledged enough. He's almost like an encyclopedia about few things.
Yeah, about everything.
I think almost everything,
Yeah.
but it would be too much of an exaggeration, so I thought I should avoid that. But he almost is an encyclopedia. That timing of coming up with, I might know things, but to be able to pull that out in the required moment, in that very moment, is an absolute talent. It's just blessing that he has. But वो सब करके भी हमारे साथ ही बैठे हुए हैं.
All of you, the three you mentioned, the voice, the unique voice is kind of visible in the film. But I wanted to ask you, as a director, as an actor, when you're working on set, how do you make yourself objective on your own performance when you're looking at the screen? How do you make sure that, okay, this is good, this is not good?
Your insights tell you.
Okay.
Number one. Your co-actor eyes will tell you. Your associate director will tell you.
Okay.
I'll ask.
Okay.
I have no problem in asking. ठीक लगा? And inside you know whether it is truthful or not. Because sometimes you know that were you trying to push an emotion or did it come truthfully? You know. But it doesn't mean, sometimes you might feel I felt very full and felt nice, and then you go and the camera didn't pick it up. So nobody cares. So you look at the take, you speak to your associate. The actors sense it. You know from an energy.
Yeah.
As soon as the shot is called cut,
मिल गया.
you feel something. You feel something. You feel, I did something today. That should be for every take. But that one special take, you'd say, yeah, we did great. Like with them, they know what they've done.
Yeah.
They know what they've done. They don't need my approval. It's like, we was joking about, we don't have to get an approval from a director when we as actors are acting together. But we have once or twice said to the director, ko puche kya theek lage. So you know.
Yeah.
However, as a director, if you know the intention of the scene, if you know in the course that where is that in the timeline of the entire picture, what pitch it should be at, is it in the correct sur of that moment in that timeline? Is it too melodramatic?
Yeah.
Should we put it down, put it up? That the director knows, and that the director should know.
Yeah.
Maybe the actor doesn't, because the actor is only looking at himself as a character. But a director should know that this is not the time for him to have an outburst. Not yet, not yet, not yet. Hold it, hold it, hold it. That's the director's job.
Right.
But I should talk to the director every night. And he's quite a reasonable guy.
Right. One other thing the film also talks about is this tryst with modernity and tradition.
Right.
In that beautiful scene when you are drinking together in the balcony. And you say that every city looks the same.
Right.
I got reminded of Ayn Rand, The Fountainhead.
Okay.
Was that an influence?
Howard
in any
Rock?
way?
No, it's not my favorite book, in fact.
Yeah.
And it's a terrible movie, just by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gary Cooper plays Howard Rock, and it's terrible.
But lovely book.
A lovely
Yeah.
book, bad movie, but no, I don't think.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I don't think we were thinking of that. We
No,
were
we
talking
weren't.
about old.
Absolutely.
The old. See, the idea of that scene is, old man कुछ बोलता है. He is talking as he always does. The son is looking at it. ठीक है, शुरू हो गया बेटा. It's one of those lines, but those lines are so important because we sometimes don't listen to the wisdom of our parents, who might be saying the greatest truth.
Yeah.
But because they are pakao, we don't listen. That's the point of that scene. And he uses that on that balcony when he says, my God, I was not listening. I should have.
Yeah.
I should have. So for me, it wasn't inspired by Howard Rock.
Right. Fair enough. And one more thing that I wanted to bring out was what makes the film truly stunning is the cinematography and the production design. The shots that you've designed, especially in the beginning when the two of you are facing each other in the separate room, and many other shots that are, painted as if in a certain way. The frames looks as if they are out of a pastel colored world at times. So what were your discussions with the DOP and production designer like?
Chris?
Krish Makhija.
Yeah.
He did a great job. Didn't show off. See, that's the thing. Once you start showing off, कि मैं ये lighting कर सकता हूँ, इतना contrast लाऊंगा, ऐसा करूँगा, थोड़ा dapple light डालूंगा, ऐसे करूँगा. He stuck. He made it aesthetic and still kept it real. There's realism and there's a certain aesthetic in the realism. There's a certain beauty in the realism. And he was that's an artist at work. However, in all of that, it has to be cinematic.
Yeah.
It can't be realism to, okay, you make the house look like a real house and then you just cover it. I think that God, I'm blanking out. Somebody help me.
What?
My production designer,
Who was our production?
Payal Ghosh. So, the production designer, Payal Ghosh, Krish Makhija, and we would sit together for camera movement in my office. And then she would design the set depending on where we would be placing a person and where we would be throwing the light. And I think everybody comes in together and chips in. And you're saying such wonderful things. And I think it's so important that the four of us are sitting over here as the principal cast and the director sitting here. And we forget the contribution of the DOP, the production designer, Gulraj's music, the background score. Without that, there's no movie.
And the editing.
Why? And the editing, Charu.
Yeah.
Charu. Without them, we are not sitting here.
Yeah.
We should not be sitting over here. We would not be given the opportunity to speak. Otherwise, you know what? Try making a film with just actors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Try.
Yeah. That's a good way to.
Very grateful that you mentioned the cinematography.
Yeah. That's a good way to end this conversation. Thank you so much for
Thank
this.
you.
lovely talk.
Thank you.
And I wish you all the best for the Mehta Boys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.